Our hearts beat to the city streets. We begin to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals, they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun, as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light. From the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop. Time to show the top. We're gonna be two hearts running wild. Now the morning is the afternoon. We lay awake at night. Laugh so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light. Pull us down from the sky, just two hearts run.
Hello, and good afternoon, I would say here. It is 14:24 Central European time, so that is 2:24 p.m. here in Europe, here in the Netherlands. I just want basically to get some crocheting done and thought, let's keep company maybe with you guys. I am just right now trying to get all the practical things settled. I do hope you have decent audio because, well, I do have a little bit challenging with my Bluetooth headset here, so it seems to not catch all audio. So I hope you do not have any audio dropouts on my end. Hello, Amanda. Wonderful to see you here. And hello, Kim. And yeah, well, early not, so to say. Normally I would do like an early morning one, but these days I tend to actually just pop around a bit whenever I want, because that seems to be my ability. I really needed sleep this morning, so I decided, yeah, I'll sleep, whatever, basically. So yeah, I took a nice nap and not as long as I wanted to. Had a few other things to get done. Realize all this applying for unemployment benefits and so on, that does take some efforts. Had to fill in some papers and so on. And therefore, these days, it's difficult to kind of provide a real genuine schedule because of all these sort of things that I'm basically going through right now. But you might have seen the lovely thumbnail. The thumbnail, let's see, do I actually have input if I change to this? But that thumbnail is basically a part of the cowl that I'm working on. So I made some ear warmers a while back in the star stitch pattern. That would be the headband. And I decided to continue on some, oh, well, on a cowl basically to go with it. So this is how far we have gotten. I'm working it in the round because I personally just found out that that seems to work up the nicest when I work it in the round, because when I had to sew them together, I couldn't really, like, the edges didn't really turn up nicely, and then sewing them together just somehow it just did not give a nice finish. Where working them in the round is a really nice finish. This would be the joining side of things where you can see that. Oh, let's see if I can actually get it right on the camera. I can't. No, wrong way around. You can see the join, but it's not as obvious as when I had to sew them together. So I'm basically just working the star stitch in the round. Do need to weave in some ends. Following the pattern. Well, I do have different yarns in the pattern. and because the pattern really calls for wool. And instead, I am basically using this Anako Bonjour, which is a bulky yarn, I would say. It's 100 grams, so 3.5 ounces to 110 meters. It is, let's see, can be washed at 30 degrees Celsius, so that's like 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Iron it lowly, flat to dry. Do not tumble dry. Do not bleach. The content is polyamide, so 20% polyamide and 80% premium acrylic, and it's quite soft, right? And I think the idea is this chunky cowl, but it does say I have to like have 8 rows repeating on the pattern. Let me see if I can actually find the pattern for you guys. Give me just one moment. And then I will share. Somehow this is not happening. Doesn't seem like Nightbot is really connecting with us, but I guess that's just how it is. Anyhow, Nightbot is not the most important. The most important, I think, is, let's see, if I find this one, and I find this one, we can, ta-ta, have a little look at the pattern. This is the Anemone. I also linked to the pattern description box down below. Very important to say, they do not work the star stitch in the round. They just work them straight back and forth. What they do use here is the yarn that is named Snow, and that is 100% woolen yarn. And given that many have allergies to wools, etc., I thought, hey, that would be cool not to have that. So this on the sub part here of the cowl, that is basically what I'm working on. And if we go down here, let's see if I can find it, neck warmer. It says 8 rows with stars in total, and I have 5 rows completed, and I'm working on row 6. So that's basically where we are at. Yeah. So that is what I want to do. I do need to actually start by changing yarn. So that is also what I'm going to do. Label off. New ball of yarn. Hallelujah. And originally I got some of these yarns extras because I was like, then I can make some more headbands and I could possibly like put them up for sale or something. And then I realized actually I have some, I'm not really sure if you should call them grand cousins or whatever. It's the daughters of my cousins, and I was thinking, oh, I could make them a present, Christmas presents, and I could make them small cows because they like light blue and light pink. And if you give me a moment, I also have it in this color. Like, I could make them one of each, was my thought. Right now, I don't know how much yarn I will have left. What is on this now here is that this is one full skein. For those that's curious. And I'm wondering if I can make just one more star stitch actually before changing skein. So I am going to attempt that. Then you wonderful people, let me know what you guys are working on right now. I see that Amanda's a big kid is at home and having visitors, so she needs to find entertainment on her own. So she is very happy that I popped live here. I was highly debating what to do, and in the end I was like, yeah, well, I'll jump live because that was the plan I had yesterday. Yesterday I was barely not home at all. Let's see. I can't do one more of these. I don't think so. Maybe I can. Because basically, hello Mama Gwen and hello Diane. Lovely to see you ladies. So yesterday, well, 1.5 weeks ago, we got a letter from the company that supply the power grid in the area, not those that supplies our power, but those that handle and maintains the power grid. And they basically are renovating the whole power grid in the area so they can handle a higher delivery of power. Because a lot of people are like having these electrical cars, they're charging them at home, etc. So the power grid just needs to be able to maintain a higher output, I guess. Um, and therefore, basically the letter said, tomorrow between 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., you will likely have periods of times where you will have no power, and it could be the whole day. So I was like, well, I need to do something that does not include being home, because home alone without power, well, I can't crochet the whole day. But basically, I can't open the fridge because that could risk you spoiling your food, and stuff like that. I was like, just need to get out. So I went out and I went shopping. No, this I can't do. So I went shopping with my mom-in-law, and that was a nice day. So I have to do this differently. Just one moment. So yeah, we went shopping. We went to Germany. And I got home. And when I got home, it took about 10-15 minutes and my power was finally back on. So, yay, I almost had the experience of not missing my power at all. So, I guess that was nice. Good afternoon, Helle. No worries, Kim. I'll be here for a little while. I need to do another 2.5 row of star stitches. And right now I am changing yarns. I just need to see how I do this best. Probably like this. So, yay. So that goes to be woven in, more ends to be woven in. Yay. I need to get better at weaving in my ends and not leaving it all to the last minute. It's not too bad though. It's only the beginning I had to weave in, but still. So yeah, this is basically working the star stitch is basically pulling up a bunch of loop as you progress. And it gets this absolutely gorgeous look. It really does. So that's a short version of it, I guess. So Hella said she just got disturbed by the phone as she saw me popping on. That's all right, no worries. I finally got my new phone, which means that I'm really, really happy because I was really getting to a stage where I needed a new phone, and I finally got my new phone. It did have a delay of it took them like almost 4 weeks to deliver it, so my patient was challenged. That would be fair to say. I'm just checking. I do believe you all have audio, right? Like you can hear what I'm saying. I do hope. Good afternoon, Stayish. Lovely to see you. I am working, just to repeat myself for those newcomers, I'm working on this absolutely wonderful cowl to match the headband. And I just added the second skein. And I need to do another 2.5 row of star stitches. Where we simply pick up yarns, multiple places, multiple loops, and yarn over and pull through all of these loops, and then yarn over again, and makes this gorgeous row. The only difference I do from working, so I do work it in a round, And what I do is I prefer, because I like the look better, to instead of when you have to do because you can like slip stitch to the gap or the center of the star to start do the single crochets or half double crochets. I actually prefer just turning it around and working it the other way around as you would do it if you worked it flat. Okay, my chair is not. I need new felts underneath the chair. That would be better for my floor. Oh, wonderful. Diane tells us she almost finished her Hobby A-line poncho. Oh, that sounds wonderful. So we have 6 loops on the hook, which I need then to pull through all of them. And then picking them up. I advance 2 every time. I make a new star stitch. Basically, well, I'm just working this around. And I have been debating, and we have talked about that a few times, which is not something I can do right now, I think. But I have been debating if you would rather have a look where you can actually see what I'm doing somehow. Because I am just crocheting along here and you can't really see what I'm crocheting. But I also don't have anything up here that I could easily put you on. But I could potentially, technically, use the webcam on my PC for my face, so you can see my face, and use my other webcam to kind of easier get you guys to see what I'm doing. I don't know if it's even remotely possible in this stream. I'm working this, by the way, with a really big crochet hook. This is a 9mm hook. For those that's curious, it is one of my prim hooks that I'm working them with. I do believe you can get these hooks also in Hobby Lobby. That Prim sells them there as well for those Americans that could be curious about them. What I like about Prim is that the shaft is really long and it has this like sort of ergonomical feel to them. Let's see what I could do maybe. I just don't know what that look would be. That would be this. Okay. Well, it's not changed, of course. That could maybe work. And then what I have there, I could put down here. I guess. I guess. I'm thinking on redecorating the show, but the thing is, you would kind of see it from not my point of view, but as if you were sitting across a room. I don't know if that would be useful at all. Else, I still need to like redecorate everything. La la la. Maybe I will play a little bit with it tomorrow. That could be. That could be. So we have one working on a poncho, keeping Amanda with company. Not sure. What are you working on today, Amanda? Have you finished up your... I didn't catch the last bit of your stream last night. Did you finish up that chunky sweater of yours? And I can hear we do have some people working outdoors here and there. And I think that is, I don't know if you guys hear them, but if you do, then it's probably related to all of this works that they're doing across here with the phone companies, and they're patching up the gaps and holes that they made in the street to get to the wires with a power grid. It's quite similar to furls. The only thing is I don't have easy access to furls. Furls looks gorgeous, but furls is like expensive and even more expensive to get it to Europe. Plus we have to pay value-added taxes for the import. So that kind of sucks. So Amanda says she needs to finish the sleeves by making them longer. She also have to do cuffs and some edging. Now she started on a turtle and some chenille yarn, though she doesn't think she have enough of the one of the colors, which totally sucks, which I totally agree with. Not even a chance of winning a yarn chicken, like, not a chance. Were you gonna do Christmas markets this year or still haven't decided? I know you had a friend you did a Christmas market with last year. We have 2 more star stitches left, and then I need to turn around to do a bunch of half double crochets. But my real question is if I maybe should consider, after I've done those half doubles, to make like a semi-fit to see what I think it would be looking like. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. I have to say this yarn though does not allow for quick stitching, because there's a place where you kind of have to insert your hook between a pair of legs from a previous stitch, and those are really not easy to catch without, like, then the yarn wants to kind of split up right there. So I am going to do the invisible join on top of this, and then do like that. We finished one more round here. I'm not really sure if that was very visible actually. Let's try again. The round is complete. I did the invisible join, so I am going to slip stitch it to be able to turn it around, and then in each of those stars, the gaps of the stars, the center of the stars, I'm going to work in 2 double crochets all the way around. Then we'll do another invisible join, and we will test on this cowl. Theoretically, the pattern says we need to do another 2, 4, 6, like 2 rows for this one to be complete. So that is basically what I might be doing, but first I want to see how it looks. So first we are gonna do a whole round of 2 half double crochets in each center of the stars. And I'll do that by working the opposite way around. So those right here would be the center of the star, that stitch. So let's see here. That is where I do 2 half double crochets, and then I skip to the next center, so to say. Can't believe it's already like Wednesday afternoon. Time flies. So yeah, apparently the next step I have to do in regards to my unemployment stuff is wait for a letter saying if they approved it and probably apply for jobs, I guess. Um, filled in my CV online, and what they do want to know, of course, and what they want to make sure is like you have to be willing to work full time to be able to get the full time unemployment benefit paid out. So I'm just trying to make them happy, I guess. It's just 3 months. It's overseeable. I can do this. And then I don't know what's happening next. Could also be suddenly the perfect job is out there. I did write a nice piece about me as a presentation of me, but I also have to admit I did it in English because my written English is superior to my written Dutch. And also, I guess because I'd prefer to work in a job where I either speak Danish or Dutch or English rather than Dutch. Don't mind some Dutch talking, but I'm rather looking for jobs where I can use either my native language or English. Yeah, the dual camera view. I wonder just if I can get it done right. I can't see if it works out, but then I hope you guys don't mind me playing a little around with it. I could try to. Could try to set up a new scene with it. That could maybe work. Ah, la la. I am halfway through here. Just one moment. I can try to see if it's possible. Da, da. So I need to add a few things here. I need to have some audio input, which is like my headset. Then I need something that records, which we have two of. And let's see, I need actually one more. Like that. Awesome. I'm just not sure why this goes like that. I'm quite sure. So what would we want here? So I'm just messing around right now to see if I can actually make it. That would be kind of nice. Right? Ah, yeah. So if we just close that one down for a minute, that will be the right one. Let's see if I can actually settings. Oh, I could maybe. No. Oh, why doesn't it want to do this? Oh, sorry guys, I just turned black. which means that what I can do is I can, for a minute, so you still have me. It's because I am messing with some settings and we do not yet have the right. Holy smokes. That was different. It should be able to do. Oh. You might see something else, I realize. Because, haha. Sorry about that. Because then, of course, this doesn't match either. Oh, goodness. We need to redo that completely then. That's all right. Because suddenly, the screen is actually kind of matching what it's supposed to be. Yes. Which means that would be the same here, of course. Okay, I will have to fix that later. So that should be above here. And then, oh, I didn't fix it for you guys yet. I forgot to press apply. So for you guys that's wondering, I'm playing around in my streaming services right now. So what I want to try to do, but you can see that as well because you are not having that one as your main. So that will be this one. And then what I want to try to do is, because I have my webcam here. See if we can do something along these lines. That might actually work. That might actually work. Let's see. Without too much of a hassle. That is not too bad. That is not too bad. Let's see. Hello. Here we are in my lovely table with my mouse, etc. Attempting a dual screen. So yeah, here I am doing my half doubles. I'm sorry it's not gonna be from my point of view, because that would take too much hassle to set up for today. But I guess this could work because then you still see my face up there. I guess no, up there. Right up there. I do apologize for the long, massive, crazy white screen you just had, but this could work, I guess. Not too shabby. And you can see my hands being busy. What is I noticed that I do have to change a few other things because that totally messed up as well with the new settings I just did to my camera. But that's okay. You can see some of my flooring in the back as well. But that's pretty much the best I guess I can do right here, right now. So, yeah. And I realize we have not even talked about tea yet. And we have been here for like half an hour. But I do have tea. It's like the right side of my PC. I have a little tabletop where my tea goes. And this is black tea, black loose Darjeeling tea. I refilled my stash when I was in Germany yesterday, so I have an extra. So I bought an extra pack of tea, which of course is nice. And don't ask me why I work these skeins from the outside, but I never work well with pulling yarns. I always end up with yarn bath. And what I probably need to do when we get all the way around here is we do need to test how it's looking. And then we need to test, or well, I probably need to weave in a few ends before I should continue. Just for my own mental sake. Because as I have to do it later, which of course I can do as well. I can do that later. But I'm trying to get better at not postponing things too much. And I actually wanted to work on this yesterday at some stage, but I did not because I thought I had decided to actually jump on live and do this. And then this morning I was so tired I couldn't just get up. So I was like, no, okay, we'll do a live this afternoon, which is basically how this happened, right? I set up live, it's afternoon, here we are. But I was highly debating if I should do that as well. And I was like, nope, just do it because you wanna work on it, and that was your plan, so that's how it's gonna be. So I got all the way around here, as you can see. I just need to do another invisible join. So I pull out my hook, insert it in the top of the other row, grab that loose end, pull it through, ta-ta, tighten up the yarn a bit, and we have another join. Nice. Of course, when I do the invisible join towards the very end, I do that slightly ever so different as well, because I want then to have the edges looking the same. I need to find my needle, my darning needle, which I have over here. And we need the biggest needle I have. And what I'm going to do is I am going to weave in those 3 ends I have waiting on me to get handled. Because I have the one that I started with and I have where I changed yarns. So I would say let's get that done. And then what I maybe need to do is to take off the headset and try on this. Is my thinking. Unless anyone else have a better suggestion. But first, we gotta get rid of those pesky ends. Which is what I'm doing right now. So Stash says it's morning for her in the US. You would have missed me if I did it earlier, so you're waiting, happy that I waited to do it for the afternoon for this live. You're very welcome. Well, I didn't know, actually, earlier today when it would happen. So, and I ended up, I guess, deciding for, okay, now it was a good time. I have to say, my afternoon life seems to be a little bit better at catching people. And that's basically, it's a time zone difference thing, right? Um, which is kind of fair enough. So, cut the loose end. Now we just have the ends up here I need to weave in. And one of them is quite long and the other one is quite short. Let's do the short one first. Stash, I had the idea that you only work night shift, but you actually have both night and day shifts then, or have I misunderstood something? Doo -doo -doo. Weaving in ends is not my favorite activity, I will honestly admit. But I'm not really sure if I know anyone who enjoys it. The only benefit of weaving in ends, activity-wise, is that you can actually see progress of them because you do get fewer and fewer ends, right? What else? I don't know. So we have a long, long, long end here. A very long one. And I need to figure out how I do you best. Probably by going underneath here. Then we go further. Do, do, do. Ah, I get you. So you're usually an evening shift, and then that's why that you're awake during the nights. Makes good sense. This yarn, it's the Narco Bonjour, which is a lovely acrylic and polyamide yarn. Like, Amanda, you would like it. Let's see. Actually, I should do like this. Let's see if I can actually do like that. This would be the yarn. And yarn specs, 20% polyamide, 80% premium acrylic, and it is 100 grams to 110 meters. And here we have it, just another colorway. And the light is killing it on the white. Sorry about that. So it's a nice bulky yarn, which makes it so quick to work up. Well, it should, in theory, be quick to work up, right? But more better, it's good for those who have allergies for wool, because there's no wool in this. And the pattern calls for something with 100% wool. So this is an allergy-friendly cowl. And I think it's warm, bulky warm. Da, da, da. There we go. 1, 2, 3, done. Now we only have the working end, which needs to be woven in once done. And we have him up here. So this is where we are at. This is the cowl. And this would be the headband. So there is some size difference, which is logic because this has to go over your head. Now, what I wanted to do was I wanted to actually see if I could fit this. But maybe that would make more sense to just temporarily swap you guys over to this screen. And what I have to do is I have to temporarily take off my headset because this will be in the way. I can also just take out this, but then you won't hear what I'm saying in any case, so I can just easier take off the headset. Ta-ta! That's not too bad. That's not too bad, I guess. Like, you can hide nicely behind it. But it would make sense to add 2 more rows. But theoretically, you could stop here if you wanted to. Then it's just a light cowl. But if you want to make sure it's nice and like you can really snug yourself into it, I would definitely add 2 more rows. So that's what we're gonna do. That is what we are gonna do. Popping back to this dual view. So let's see, I just did that by coming from here. So what I need to do now is I need to chain 3. And then I need to keep my focus a bit. In the second leg or chain from the hook, I need to pick up a loop. And we need to do that in the same following, but then we need to change it around. And let's see. Get one from here, here, and here. That should get it if I'm right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I've done this good. Yeah, looks like it. I always find the first one looks a bit funky. Then we need to pick up a stitch in here. Then we need to progress by 2, like that. Ta-ta! And we have the first 2 made. The first 2 following star stitches. Well, technically you can first really see those star stitches when you have reversed it and done the half doubles, right? And what really takes time, I think, it's not to pick up the first stitch, but the second stitch I pick up, I have to pick up in that last leg. And sometimes the yarn wants to split right there. Then I have to pick up one in the last stitch where I collected from last row, and then we advance 2 by picking up stitches in each of those next stitches. Pull through all loops and do 1 chain, which is basically what makes a gap or the center of that star. Insert the hook in the star, insert and pull up a loop, insert the hook between the 2 legs, pull up a loop, insert in that last stitch of the previous round, or previous stitch, and then advance 2. And every time you insert the hook, you pull up stitches basically. And then at the very end, you have 6 loops on the hook. You yarn over and you pull through all of those loops. And that's basically how we do them. 1 for 1 for 1 for 1. So it looks really nice, but it does take a little time to do them. Because now we have it. Now it's wanting to shoot. Yep, that was it. And then 1, 2. Ta-ta! So it's probably not the... I would think it would be quick because it was bulky, but it's not as quick as first anticipated. And that's probably because of the star stitch just take time. So that's basically what we have to do, a full row of a bunch of star stitches. I also had to contact the unemployment agency because their estimated calculations on what I'm supposed to get paid out definitely wasn't true or valid. So I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do all this hassle for that little money. Basically, that's was my first thing. Because basically what they claimed that I should receive every month was only approximately what I should receive on a weekly basis. Like, so I contacted them, and then they said, "Oh, but the calculation shown on the website is wrong. There is a bug in the system. You will get a mail, like a paper written post snail mail, if we have approved your application within the next 4 weeks." And I'm like, within the next 4 weeks? Technically, I'm unemployed from Friday. Stage is asking me how many rows I'm making, or more rows I'm adding. So the pattern calls for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm working on row 7. So technically, this row plus 1 more. But if you're talking about technical rows, because this is the star rows, right? I'll have to finish this row of star stitches. Then I will have to work back 1 row of half doubles, where I do work 2 half doubles into each center star. And then I have to work another row of the stars, and then 1 row of half doubles. And then I should be done, according to the pattern. So that's probably also where I'm going to be like done. That's what I'm thinking, because, you know, like, kind of makes sense. I could, in theory, have been okay on the 6, I think. But then at the same time, I'm also a little bit like, you know, adding a few more does give you extra warmth for those that could use that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing, basically, in short. I did that first skein. I finished up that Monday. I just sat down and I started working on it, and then I was like, I want to finish this, but I'm not in the mood to finish it now. And then I was like, oh, that's probably a perfect project for life. And then I decided to hold off for that, which is like, okay, I'll do that Wednesday. And then yesterday, obviously, I wasn't home most of the day because we had no power. I could have been home crocheting, but I would have had like no power. So And it was really a bad weather yesterday as well. It was like raining, it was dark. So fundamentally, if I had not no power all day, I'd probably just gone to bed and slept the whole day. um, it's the first instinct. Oh, now we have it. Now it's teasing me. Come on, don't tease me. Don't want the previous one. So there we went. Do, 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 do. Are any of you ladies working on anything else right now? So I do know Amanda is possibly working on a turtle, unless she decided to call it the quits because she might not have enough of the color, of the one of the colors. Yes, unemployment is a hassle, and this is the first time I've ever been to the system. So I moved to the Netherlands back in 2009. And when I moved here, I was still studying. So that was easy because I still had study payments or study funding from Denmark. And I finished my studies and so on. And then in 2010, I started my own company. Plus, I was freelancing communications, translations, marketing, often targeted towards Danish markets. The reason for freelancing was simply that um, yeah, it was when I still did top sport. It was not easy to get a job and then tell the boss, being like, yeah, I'm not gonna be there for 2 weeks, and then I'll be there for a week, and it was just I would be too inconsistent of a worker. Like, you wouldn't be able to count on when I was present. Um, so it was just easier to be freelancer because I could like 100% decide on my own if there was a job or a project. Would I bid on it or would I work with it? And I have to say, I've really missed that flexibility I used to have, because of the job I had. Um, yeah. Amanda says she's been posting in Facebook groups to get another game. Let's keep fingers crossed that someone has an extra somewhere. Crossing fingers for that, definitely. But yeah, so I've done many years, basically until and with the COVID. Let's just do just 246. Did I advance 2 like that? I have the idea something is wrong. Something is wrong. I yarned over where I shouldn't yarn over. Let's try again. So I basically yeah, I was freelancing for many years and it worked out really nice for what I needed. I did not have a big income, but I have a lot of great experiences that I would not trade for money. Um, and then when COVID struck, some of the customers I mainly had back then were in the travel business. I did translations for like KLM, Delta Airlines into Danish. I did some translations for a vacation company, they rent like a house rental. And basically, most of those translations when COVID hit was something like, we are sorry to cancel your travels. You are receiving a voucher you can use within those and those days, and so on. And so the first month after lockdown, um, I was making reasonably good money. And then after that month, it was just dead silent and no income. And I basically, my income revenue in 2020 dropped about 70% compared to what I had the year before. And then in 2021, income wasn't still very good, but it was okay. Like, I made enough to pay for my food on like the basics, right? And in 2021, they had this opening, a job opening for doing customer support for Discovery Plus during the Olympics. And I thought, well, it's a good opportunity to check if I want to get back on the normal employment market. And it's money, and it's only 2 months. So in worst case, it's just 2 months I'm stuck with this. And I get to make some money. Like I get at least about 2 months of salary. So I did that. And when I finished towards the end of that period, um, they had this project for Sonos, which is what I did then. I did Danish custom support for Sonos. And that's been working until now. But it's been stressful. I've been happy with the income check every month, but it's the work itself has definitely been some stress, especially the last 4 months. And I can feel in many things on my life that right now I am health wise and energy wise doing better than what I did when I was still working. And now I'm basically into this limbo, what's next? And I don't really know what's next. Ideally, I find a job where I can work language wise with Danish, maybe English. Um, and then, I don't really that much care what it's about, especially if I can do it from home. Because if I do have to leave the home to do 40 hours a week, then traveling much further than 10, 15 kilometers is not going to leave me much energy left. And that's simply just um, due to some chronic illnesses I have, limiting energy amounts, basically. So that's the ideal goal. But if I can't find a job before then, well, I'm an entrepreneur. I still have some customers from back then in the days, um, but it's not like many things also changed, right? A lot of translations these days are done by AI, even though it's not always correct. Um, you will see the same also with Google. You can translate lots of things in Google. It does not necessarily mean it's a correct translated way. So, like if I write something in Danish in Google, and I then post it, I see we have an issue actually. This might help. If how can I say? If I enter Danish text in Google and ask it to translate into English, you will also find it's not perfect English. But it's a lot better than it was 10 years ago. I can also tell you that. So that's improved, but it's not perfect. But some companies doesn't care that much actually anymore about that. They're just wanting cheap translations. And that's not as easy. So yeah, it could be that I'll just end up building up my freelance business again. Just for the comfort of that freedom to work when I want. Um, and not 100% still, because sometimes some of them really want quick turnarounds, but still, you can still say no or yes or whatever. That part is tempting. So I am almost all the way around. I need another 1, 2, 2. 2 more star stitches. So that is what we are doing, my friends. 2 more star stitches. And the last one. Ta-ta! We got that done. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So what I'm doing now is another sort of hidden join. Where we insert the hook, grab the yarn, and pull it through. Then what we need to do is I need to chain 1 just to get the next row started, because what we have to do now is we have to make that half doubles that goes on top, because what you can see right now here is that it's just the top of the star stitches, but they don't have the top star bit. And that is what we're doing with those half doubles. So I'll chain 1, which is not counting towards any slits, it's just to get some height to actually do them. And then here I have that first star gap, or center star, whatever you should call it. And then I'll work in 2 half doubles, skip until the next star gap, center star, where I'll work in 2 half doubles, etc. So you get this top off compared to. You could also do it with single crochets, but the patterns call for half doubles, and I think the half doubles gives just that extra little bit height to the stitch. So that is kind of why I'm doing it as well, because else, I don't know, maybe I should add an extra row. So yeah, I'm just basically doing a whole full row, bunch of half doubles, and then we have 1 row left. Well, technically 2 if we count in the half doubles, right? I think these half doubles, Danish, might be called en halv stangmaske. Helle, you should be able to reply to me if that's correct or not. Basically, it's a yarning over, insert the hook, pull up a loop, and then you pull through all 3 loops in one go. They all have different words in different languages, all these crochet. And the most confusing is the English and the US, right? Because a double crochet is definitely not a double crochet. That's more like a single crochet and so on. Because a double crochet in the English terms would be a triple crochet, which is totally confusing. I really personally prefer using American terminology for crochet. Somehow it seems less confusing. Why doesn't it want to go when I want to take it with me? Da, da, da. I've been debating that I could make like a vest or something like that from this yarn as well. I think it could be gorgeous. I just miss some more colorways for it. Let's see if I can actually find the one I was thinking of. I will share with you. One moment. Oh, that's not very visible. Oh, that's because we have that. So I put this way. Ta-ta! This one is also made in this snow yarn. So it's a bulky one. That's kind of a nice sweater or vest, right? I could make it in this yarn that I'm working with right here also. I actually like it. That's not too bad either, but that's knitted. It's made in this drop snow, which is 100% wool. But you could probably also make it in this, because it's also a bulky one. It's tempting. So if I need like a large, which probably would be like towards me, that would need 2 skeins, probably need 3 skeins of it. I do like it. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Or I would have to do it in the real wool version, but no, not too keen on that. Probably also work up nicely in an acrylic from like Hobbies, oh, what's it called? The yarn Amigos. They have this XL yarns or something like that, or the Gigas. I don't remember. I think that could work up nicely too. You will have to get it on sale, obviously, because I also think it's too expensive. But it's valid to say hobby yarns are overpriced, and they are intentionally overpricing them so that they can um, um, charge you, or well, so that they still make money when it's on sale. Maybe in the fantasy. Like the idea though. Don't they have the Giga? Should work up, I think, nicely. Maybe it's just an idea I have. Now I just got started hunting for the yarns. Can't help it. The chunky, maybe. Yep. The Amigo Chungy would work for it. Could work for it. And that what I do like about this the Amigo yarns is that they have so many different colors. That could work for it. I have new ideas. I have new ideas. Even the fantasy jumbo yarns could probably work up nicely. It's on sale right now. No, Stina, please do not get yarn. Tempted. I should not. I should not. I should relinquish. No yarn getting. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. So many other things I need to do. Buying yarn is not one of them. I don't have enough of this yarn to make it. Stage says it would be nicely for sure. It would. I could definitely use a nice warm vest. The problem is I do not right now have enough yarn for it, and I would need to buy it, and I would need 2 colors, and they don't have enough of this particular yarn to do it. So that was why I was thinking about Hobby might have a few nice ones, and they do definitely have yarns that could work with it, like the Amigo Giga, but I should not get yarns right now. For the pure obvious part of the fact that I don't even know yet if they are approving my unemployment pay. What I do know is that I do get some cash bonuses and so on for everything else, but you know, I am waiting and waiting and waiting to see what's gonna happen. We are almost the way around, which means that we can start on that last row of stars. Da, da, da. And I'm wondering, I'm not so sure I will have enough yarn to actually also maybe make an extra headband of this. But I do have more yarn. I do have one more skein of this blue. We will see where it goes. Yep. 2 more. Well, actually it's 4 if we count the amount of stitches, right? Because I need to do 4 more half doubles and 3 to go, 2 to go, and if I'm not wrong, I am done. Then we can join and we can start on that last row. But I do agree, there's always a good reason to buy more yarn. The problem is, of course, just that I need to be considerate of my expenditures right now. But I definitely wouldn't mind. I definitely wouldn't mind getting yarn. I love yarn. I love buying yarn. Buying yarn is a hobby on its own. It has nothing to do with crochet or crafts. It's just a totally different hobby. Here we go. First star stitch made. If I'm not wrong, I have like 32, maybe 33 star stitches all the way in the round. You can count them if you want. Um, But yeah, I saved the pattern for the vest because I think the vest is actually kind of nice. It's kind of cute looking. So I saved the pattern because who knows, maybe I could also consider doubling up yarn, right? Like working 2 strands and make the vest from that. That could probably also work. If I wanted to. 2, 4, 6. A yarn over, pull through. I could do that. But I also really like the idea of maybe just making it in a one-stranded yarn, acrylic or something like that. Well, wool is okay, but it can't be itchy, scratchy. And then I'm a little bit back to the that yarn that I saw last week in the store could actually be extremely gorgeous, but that's not the right thickness. But you could probably amend the pattern somehow to still work up in the right way. But then I'm not sure how much yarn I would need and if there would be enough. And then we're still back to, for me to even doing that, I would still need to buy the yarn. And I have so much yarn in my stash, I've kind of promised myself to try to do some stash busting. Um, and in reality, I haven't bought as much yarn this year as I did, for example, last year. Last year, I went totally raving crazy buying yarns. I've been pretty okay this year. With the exception of a few great deals. Like when I came up by a really good deal on like Facebook Marketplace, I just had to get it. But outside of that, no. No buying yarn. I should not buy yarn. At least not right now. Not yet, not right now. I did not catch to read that, so I hope it's just because you made a typo. But yes, buying yarn is a hobby on its very own. Even looking at your yarn stash can be a hobby. um, my yarn stash is way too big, so I need to kind of attempt a bit of debusting or busting my stash. That would be kind of nice. And a part of me also really lately been thinking about getting one of those knitting machines because that could bust my stash a bit quicker, knitting up some ear warmers or hats. Because I do think I have some yarns that could work up pretty nicely in those. Why? Why to get a knitting machine, you mean? Or just for the easiness of it? I see potential in it. Could also be that I totally regret it. It's definitely also possible. Absolutely possible. Da, da, da. Oh, come on. Ah, bust up your yarn stash because I need more space. I need room for new yarn. I just need to use what I have. And I don't know, sell some pieces maybe. So I have cash to buy new yarn. In the end, bottom line is we want to buy more yarn, right? So one way or another, we shall eventually get there. So yeah, I need to bust up my yarn stash because I have too much yarn and too little room. It's a space issue actually. A part of it is me needing to actually use up some yarn so I have more room. But the problem is, of course, I can use up the yarn, but if I don't also get rid of what I make somehow, either by donating or whichever else, then I'm still stuck in the same issue because worked up items also take up space. Um, or I need to make a lot of gifts. That's also an option. But ideally, I would probably just sell some. I do have a few things that I want to donate as well, but that's more because I don't think it is, I would say, maybe good enough for selling. Um, so it's projects that's made for learning, for example, if I'm learning a new stitch or learning something specific. And some of those don't look as well first time I try out a pattern. And if it doesn't look as well, there is this organization in Denmark. Yay! Nightbot is here. But if if it's not perfect, and there's this organization in Denmark that helps people, for example, if they're homeless, and so on, and they could probably use earwarmers as well. But if it's not a good pair of nice pair of earwarmers, it's not as bad to donate it to them because it's probably still very functional. But if it's not looking amazingly good, I can't expect people to be willing to pay for it. So I might have some items that I will be donating to get room, so to say. And that will make people happy, but it's not items that I could expect people to pay for. I think if you sell your projects, it needs to be of a decent quality, right? Um, do so. Therefore, I have a few things that I have in a little department called donations, just because that seems to make more sense, right? Um, if you get something for free, you don't have any rights to complain. You can just say yes, please, or no, thank you. But if you buy something, it should be good. So that's kind of my input on that. Oh man, The yarn wanted to split, but I managed to save it. So I need to bust my stash. And the worst thing is, I also recently found yet another nice place to buy cakes. As in like handmade, hand spun, hand caked up cakes on like not your classic hobby or the like. I want to do that. Oh, Stash, welcome to my memberships. I have something just for you in a moment. I am just finishing up this one. And what can I say? But this one, my friend, is for you. I very much appreciate this. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. All the tiny support things matter. Those are also like, I'm trying to find out what project to make next on my drops project, so I will eventually be having a poll on that. I had hoped to have finished my Thoughts of Ireland shawl, but I haven't yet. It has taken a little bit longer than first anticipated, but it's more also because I haven't actually intentionally sat down to do it. It shouldn't be that difficult to just sit down and do a bit. It's not the most difficult stitches left on that shawl. But what I also need to do is I need to go out and buy some wool detergent because I want to wool block it. Or block it because it's 100% alpaca wool, right? So, and then I think having some wool detergent would help because else you can risk that they go a bit static. And the shawl itself definitely needs blocking because it tends to curl up. What we can do, depending on, well, it shouldn't take me too long to finish this actually. What we can do is once I've finished up this, is that we take up my Thoughts of Ireland shawl, which is right next to me down there on the floor in its crate, in its project crate. We can at least quickly talk about it. We can definitely do that. We have 3 star stitches to go if I calculate this correct. Or if I count it correct, maybe I should say. And then we need to do that row of half doubles. And then technically I should be complete, but before doing that, what we should do is probably do another fitting to see how it looks. That would make sense. to give it a fitting. Would make very good sense, actually, even. Gives me a good idea if we are exactly where we should be. Feels like it because this grows and grows and grows. Do, do, do. There we go. And then I need to join that with the top here. And I do these different joins because I think joining via slip stitch doesn't make it look as neat. In short, let's see. I do need to make sure I have room enough here. I should have. Okay. So we chain the one to be able to turn it around. And then we do a whole ton of half doubles. And once we're all the way around, we are gonna do a fitting again. Hello, Maritza. Lovely to see you with us. I am working on this cowl, you can see that I have right down here. And that is made in, in this Naco yarn. Naco Bonjour. It's a bulky weight yarn. I am using a 9mm crochet hook. I already made a headband a while ago. So this is just a cowl to go with it. I think it's probably 2 weeks ago or so I made that headband. Feels like it at least. And I'm basically just working in that last row of half doubles, and then we are ready to do a final fitting. So yep, that is what we are doing. I do have the feeling that before then I may have to shortly leave you for a quick toilet visit. Because I do actually have to use the toilet, and lately I have had a little bit of tendency to what I would call a light bladder infection, so I should actually listen to my bladder and do when it bits me. So, ladies and gentlemen, if any gentlemen are watching, not to forget you guys, what I am going to do is I'm going to be right back, and it's going to be at best 1 to 2 minutes. It's just a quick toilet visit. Thank you for your understanding. I'll be back with you in a few.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young and it's just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light. Pour stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop. As we shout from the top, we're gonna be two hearts running wild. In the morning, as the afternoon, we lay awake in bed. We laugh so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light. Pull stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop. As we shout from the top, we're gonna be.
So, back. Thank you for your understanding. That was a relief. So, let's finish up this row of half doubles so we can do a fitting and see if we are ready to just call it the day. Wouldn't that be nice if that's the case? Do, 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 do. Do wonder how much yarn is left here when I'm done. If there would be enough for like a small headband or none at all. Because the headband is like 3 rows and far as many star stitches as on the cowl, obviously. Da, da, da. Oh yes, and what I also need to do is I need to block my firefly sweater. It's been waiting on me. A little bit pending. But that shouldn't take up too much space, so I don't know why I just don't get it done. I guess it's the thought of blocking, does take some effort. When I block, I crawl around on the floor. Because that's where I have most space to lay all the blocking mats out. I kind of wish I had this huge working table. So this table is our dinner table as well. And I can't occupy the whole table for some blocking. And for some projects, it should probably also be wider if that is what I wanted to do. So yeah. You're definitely getting there. Not that many star stitches left to finish up. Two, which is 4 half doubles. And then, my friends, we can test how the fit is on me. And one more. Here we are. And I should probably close it, but honestly that can wait, because if the fit is good, we are closing it in a different way. So we'll just insert a stitch marker, which is actually too tiny for this big yarn, but that is what it is. What I should do is I should change camera to this angle, because else you just have this tiny face of me. And then I'm taking off the headset, and then we are fitting. So oh yeah. This can even, you might actually be able to hear me. Hello. I think you're still able to hear me a little bit further away, but hopefully you can. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna totally ruin my hairdo and do on the headband as well. Can't see anything. Look here. Now you just need to match in my winter coat. Just imagine my winter coat, and like with the winter coat, I think I am pretty good, because I can almost do it like this. And if you don't have one of those hats as well, the capuchons, whoo, I'm pretty good. I think that's pretty good, actually. I'm happy. I think we can round it off. I just need to. Oh my goodness, my hairdo is definitely off. Stash, you're asking me, the yarn stand, recommending getting one from Temu. Oh, you're talking about like this one, right? Like, let's see if I do like that. These are the ones you're talking about. I'm actually quite happy with them. It depends on the project. For these, it could probably have worked, because this is actually a pretty stable skein. So it kind of depends on the skein. Really nice for cakes, especially if you pull from the outer edge of the outside, because then it just spins the cake around. And I caked up for some other projects I made, which actually it goes nice around as well. I just actually didn't try it on these yarns, but it's not bad. Like, it could work pretty well. I just need to see where we are at. So it actually works pretty nice for this yarn as well. I think Temu has the better price on these compared to like Hobby. This is like half price compared to Hobby, if not more. Where are we? We are here. I need to cut and weave in. Cut. So yeah, I got it from Temu, and I don't think it was a bad idea. It's like the price was really nice and competitive actually. So that's something. Of course, you don't know the working conditions of the workers there, so that's the downside of Temu. But at the same time, it's a good price, right? So now I need to think about how I did this again. Oh no, I need to pull up the whole yarn like that. You're welcome. Absolutely welcome. Great coverage of these, and hopefully well enough coverage for you to get an idea here. It depends, because if it's a looser skein, it will bubble around a bit. I've used it also successfully with some of the chenille yarns. And yeah. Okay, now I need to think. Because you do enter them like no opposite. Also opposite. I hate this. I went so nicely last time I did it. Like that. Except I know why. Let's try again. There we go. There we go. So it's almost hidden. Hidden join. Love it. Now we just need to hide it on the back side of the project, please. Success. And weave in those pesky ends. Nice. I'm happy. I am definitely happy with the result of this. Da, da, da. Oh, there I made the yarn split. Really shouldn't be possible, but I have to admit this yarn is willing to split if you don't keep your tongue straight. Actually, it's quite splitty indeed. There's clear multiple strands that they have woven or spun together. And when you start like working with it, you can see how these strands start to, I wouldn't say come apart because that's a lie, Well, kinda-ish, right? Of course, this is one of the ends I ended up removing. So it consists of 5 strands, and these 5 strands again are then woven together. So it's like strands woven together, woven together. It is very fluffy in that aspect, which is kind of nice, I guess. But yeah, because this is such a long end, I can go on for quite a bit. Which I also don't mind, but that's just another story. I just like to extra secure my ends. I had the feeling we just had male guy. It could be the regional news. We have like I wouldn't say it's a newsletter, but it's just the papers, which we get just for living. They're free. We get them just because we live where we live, so to say. I just heard somebody in my mailbox. There we go. Oh, now I split the yarn into pieces. But we have a finished project. I'm happy with a headband to go as well. Ta-ta! Could even double fold this. Nice little package. Done. Done, done, done. Project finished. Over and out. Well, completely. We just talked shortly about the thoughts of Ireland shawl. So I am gonna find that to show it to you guys. I have it right here in one of all my project crates, because I do project crates. I am a big fan of project crates. They keep me organized. 3.25 millimeter crochet hook is what I'm using. So yeah, it is a tiny, tiny hook. I'm working it up in this yarn, which is the Drops Alpaca. This is the label, Alpaca Mix. And we have a few specs here on the back side. It says it's recommending a 3 millimeter needles. I'm using a 3.25, which is the same as a D hook. They say it's 50 grams, so 1.8 ounces to 160 meters or 183 yards. And it's the yarn group A, which is basically the thinnest yarn that Drops have. Quite nice yarn, to be honest. Quite nice yarns. Heathered in the look. And this is how far I am in the project. I'm currently working on these edges, and I just, like last time, I finished the last week I finished those bubble stitches, and then what I've done is I've only added these, which is like a fan not even a fan. It's like a single crochet around the bubble spaces, and then it's chain 3, single crochet about bubble spaces, chain 3, single crochet about around bubble spaces, etc. So that piece was quite simple, but I still have like 9 rows to go before this shawl is finished. But what you can see when I just lay it like this, you can see how it wants to curl up, because behind the bubble stitches is kind of where those are hiding. So the only way to not having curling up is kind of to get it spread. So this project really needs, it really needs to get blocked. So what I can do is, we are slowly getting to a place where we need to probably end this. I don't have that long or much time to go, 15 minutes at best. But we can do a little. Let's see, where did I end? Bubble stitches, those, and then I need to have these funky ones. What is that? I should actually do like, not like that, not like that, like that. Ta-ta! This is a pattern for the Thoughts of Ireland, as you can see. And I am somewhere here, just below here, because here you have the bubble row. And that means that I need to work on this row next, because I just finished this row last time. So my next row is this. So I have this circle with 2 dots. I have a square, which I'm not sure what means. This is a chain 3, and then I need to see what this sort of line with 2, I would call them fly wings, are. So the dot is work around this row when, oh goodness, work around this row when A6 and AB 6B are to be worked. Read explanation pattern. Oh goodness. At the beginning of row, work 2 chain stitches. Okay, I can do that. It's a half double crochet around the chain space. Okay. So apparently let's see, do I have, that's a 6A, 6B. No, because it comes a fan. Work around that row when A6 and 6A and 6B are to be. Work around this row when A6A and 6B are to be worked. Read explanation and pattern. Okay. Continue back and forth. I finished with 1 double crochet in the edge stitch. When 6A and 6B have been worked vertically, there are 90 fan rows. Shawl measures approximately. Cut and fasten the yarn. Oh, goodness. Oh, but that's after that. Continue back and forth with 6A and 6B until the entire diagram has been worked vertically and finished. No. Not sure if I understand, but it's good. I do understand what I need to understand. That's more important. So what we do is we flip back here. I guess we start a bit on it at least. And we'll see how far we go. So I start by doing 2 chains. That is what the pattern said. And then I need to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we flip the work around because that is the direction we're working in. This is small. Like, you guys would really rather have this totally zoomed, I think. Now, in each of these small fans, I need to work in a half double. So yarn over, insert, and grab up yarn and work half double, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, work a half double into that next chain space, then chain 3 again, work in a new half double around that chain space. This is pretty quick, actually. 1, 2, 3, half double. This is like so thin yarn. Oh, I missed my half double. So thin yarn that it does take a little bit of focus. 1, 2, 3, and a half double. 1, 2, 3. One more half double. So actually, because I can fill this one, it would be a good time to put this one in the works, because it should be able to work with this yarn too. Ta-da! So yeah, we'll do a bunch of half doubles. But as I said, I do not have a lot of time left, so we are slowly coming towards the end of the stream. And that has to do with me needing to cook some dinner on time, because my partner is getting home, but he has an appointment tonight. It should just be a short appointment though, but he needs to be somewhere on time and to make sure dinner is ready and stuff is done on time, then it's nice to be able to start cooking on decent time. Oh goodness. Goodness gracious. I have to say that is the only downside with this project. It's this thin yarn and I need to keep track of it. And it's even a bigger hook than what the project originally called for. It said 3mm. I'm like, no, 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 no. That's also because I know I'm a slight bit tighter crochet hooker, so I decided to actually up hook size to 3.25. The benefit of that was that I think I had another project where my 3mm was at the time, but I do like the ability to have a hook in each my project crate. Like it's a designated hook to each project, if that makes sense. So I also tend to have different size projects working. And I just started a new project last week, which normally should have a 4mm hook, but I don't use my 4mm hook for it. I actually use my 4.5 because point 1, I think it looks nicer because I have a tight tension. And point 2, because I'm using the 4mm with my mosaic pattern, and I am a big fan of these Clover Soft Touch. And the prim doesn't come in that small hook sizes. I do like the prim for bigger projects, like where a bigger hook is required, because it has this nice, you can really hold on it. I don't have the same feeling or the need to do that with a smaller project. Damn it. I'm really losing these stitches today. Bad day. Bad day. It's usually not that bad for me on these. Oh, now we have the label entangled. And then I really want to make them double crochets. I think that's probably the issue. I should put that here. You can see it's the alpaca yarn. 2, 3. Pull through all. Chain 3 again. Half double in that chain gap. Chain 3 again. I should probably be able to do this row. I think. We'll see. We'll see what comes first, how close I am to finishing this row in quarter 2. And if it's just a few more stitches, I'll do that. And if it's not, then we will finish the string. And I will have to do that later. Half double, chain 3 again, half double, 2, 3. Oh, no, no, no. Don't go under near. That's the only downside with these with the thin yarns. They can sometimes get stuck in here between. So you do need to be a little bit mindful sometimes. But right now it's not jumping around. I could use a yarn ball instead, I guess. I just feel the yarn holder here is more diverse as to the amount of yarns it can run easily. But at the same time, the Stylecraft Special DK yarns I caked up to put on them because I found that was easier. Oh, damn it. I am really losing my stitches today. I don't know why that is. It's just before that last pull through. Maybe it's because I subconsciously want to make a double crochet, but I actually only need to make a half double. That could be the case. So now I just pull through the first 2 as for the half double, shortly pause, and then pull through that last. It seems to help me to not drop those stitches. Almost sounds like I'm talking about knitting with drop stitches. Which I'm not. Oh shit, I did it again there. But it's saved. Damn it. I don't know why I'm doing so many today. This is not typically an issue I have. I don't know. So, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, yarn over, insert, pull through all 3. Yep. 1, 2, 3. Definitely wouldn't be able to do this without looking at the yarn. I think I would drop all my stitches without. And once this project is complete, all my members will get to vote on my next drops projects with my drops yarns. And if we have a tie, we will make a public poll of those that's tied up. But if there's no tie, then my members will get to choose my projects. We are getting closer. Definitely like halfway now. Not sure if we will actually make it before I need to get going. Maybe. We'll have to see. We will have to see. Did you finish any projects today? Or did you get as far as you had hoped to get in our little crochet along here? Crochet with one another. Knit, maybe, if you're a knitter. I hope you got some done on your projects and that you are satisfied with your progress. I am definitely happy with how things are progressing. One, two, three. Yay. One, two, three. Yep, we are actually progressing pretty well, I would say. It just doesn't seem as much because it's not something that builds in height in the same way, but I think the next row should do that. Because if I don't remember wrong, we will have like doubles or trebles in a fan-based pattern. I think it might be doubles, but still. 2, 3. And then the whole thing stretches more once blocked as well. And as I said at the very beginning of me finding this project, this is a project that will need to get blocked because it just looks so much better when it's blocked. Of course, it tends to curl up, and I do believe it needs blocking. One, two, three. Two, three. 1, 2, 3. So I get really good at counting to 3. And this is what we have left. I think I can do this. Not in 3 minutes. That is definitely optimistic, but I can definitely do it in like 8. And that would work up okay. I would then definitely need to be ending by then. So I think that's probably okay. 2, 3. do. Then see you again sometime. Of course, Friday we have a yarn talk coming up, giving a good overview. Then you can get to see my cowl again, because everybody will get told that it's finished. And have a look at all the other projects, of course. And then that is when I'm trying to figure out if I should just put in some effort, which I really should, on finishing this. I might do that for next week. 1, 2, 3. Should technically be possible. But it's just because now every row is so different that I need to find the pattern every time. To make sure that I'm actually working the right stitches, because each row is basically different. It's not like a repetition of, let's say, 4 rows or something like that, like the Varish shawl is. This is like every row is different. And it's also not like after 10 rows you repeat or something like that. No, it is really every row is different. Like ever since I made those bubble crochets down here, it's been different. Every row has been different. So, based on that, it's not a project that I quickly take with me without having the pattern with me. But I should probably just find and take some time to do it. Also, kind of depends on all the expectations that will be up soon, right? Because we have this unemployment agency stuff coming up, and it will take some of my time to do. So I will have to have some attention put towards it. That's just how it is. So what's up for dinner here? We are going to make, or well, I am going to make a boboti. Boboti is a South African dish. I have this spices mix, which I got from the store. It's going to put in some minced meat, etc. We need to prepare that, but you finish it off by baking it in the oven. It also has haricot vert, which is like a green bean. It has rice, and we have some apples that goes in it. I do also enjoy adding dried apricot to it as a little bit extra sweet seasoning. Let's see. Uh, Going live Friday. I wasn't going live Friday. It's just a yarn talk video, so it's just a regular update, which probably will get posted around 10 or 11 p.m. my time, a.m. my time. So that's like in the middle of your very early morning for you. And it's okay to be lazy. So Stay says she's just been visiting with me and the community today. Did not work on anything this whole time. That's okay. Yeah, so I wasn't planning on going live Friday, at least not yet. Um, Also probably because I do have a few other things I need to get done. Um, So Friday would probably just be a regular video that I will post, so you can watch that at your own leisure. So my weekly yarn talks. Generally, going live in the afternoon seems to be better for most people. So that's like somewhere between 6 to no, that would be wrong. Yeah, 6 to 11 a.m. Eastern. So that's still like US morning. 1, 2, 3, and I need to do a half double in. Oh my goodness. Probably like that stitch, I think. Difficult to see. Yep. I finished. Hallelujah. And I have a minute to go. I am good. Stitch marker in, because if I don't, I will definitely lose all my stitches and all my hard work. What you can see now is that I've added kind of like one more row. The only difference between that row and the previous row was that the previous row was single crochet around the chain spaces, and this was a half double, so it's not like a huge difference, to be honest. But there we are. As I said, this definitely needs blocking, this project. That's kind of defined. Project 100% blocking 100% required for this project. Hello, Jetten. Wonderful to see you. I just finished actually, so I'm kind of sad that you're first popping in now. So I did one row on this Thoughts of Ireland shawl. Before then, I was working on the cowl, which I finished up about half an hour ago, a bit more than half an hour, maybe more like 40 minutes. So I made the cowl here like 2 weeks ago, maybe a week and a half, probably more like 2. And then today I finished up this. So we did like 2.5 row on this in this live before I started on the Thoughts of Ireland. Yeah, you'll need to watch back. I don't know if you're talking about this project or if you're talking about the Thoughts of Ireland, because the Thoughts of Ireland I've been working on a lot and also outside streaming. So if somebody would be interested in me working a full shawl while only streaming, I could probably do that sometime in the future, but that will be like an eternity project because I feel that I'm not necessarily always working as quickly when I stream. But this is quite simple for this project. The concept of the project and the star stitch pattern I've added in the description box down below. It is the Anemone headband from Drops Design and their cowl. I did use different yarns than Drops, and I worked it in the round rather than working it and then sewing it together in the end. That's the only difference. But you're more than welcome to rewatch this live, because during this live I do also show the pattern. Actually, I could probably I should be able to find it again. But it's in the description box down below. The only thing I recommend, so find a bulky weight yarn, and then let's see if I can actually, where is it? Not that one. That was a high sew. No, that one. And then not that screen. The cowl project. Yeah. The cowl is a drops pattern design. It's free. So you can like find it. The link I linked to is, I do believe, US terms. I would recommend, like, actually you could probably use like any type of yarn. Just I wouldn't recommend cotton for this. But this is like an acrylic polyamide yarn. The pattern here itself is 100% wool. It is chunky. So it's a chunky yarn. It's basically 100 grams to 100 meters, if that gives you any relation. So that's the headband. The yarn I worked in is, well, this is a different color. I do apologize. It's different color, but it's the Narco Bonjour, which is like 3.5 ounces to 120 yards. I've worked up with a 9mm crochet hook, and what gives this? Only difference I do from that pattern is I work it in the round. And I would basically right now just recommend finding maybe a YouTube video on working the star stitch in the round. But it is pretty simple actually. It's not that big of a difference. So the star stitch is reasonably simple as is. And then that's the end result basically. I like it. I'm pretty happy. I do have a fitting in this life if you want to rewatch that. I think it's quite nice. I do. That's it. I really have to get going because if I don't get to start cooking my dinner in like 5 minutes time, I will not have dinner ready on when I hope to have it ready. So yeah, I basically need to say thank you for hanging out with me. It was absolutely wonderful to hang out with you. Jen, I do have a link to the pattern that I showed you from Garn Studio from Drops Design in the description box down below. I personally, you can work it as straight panels back and forth, but I found it working nicer in the round because I found the seam of the join is smoother when worked in the round. That's basically the only difference. Everything else is just, pretty straightforward. And you can probably easily adapt this also to a thinner yarn if you want to. It just requires more star stitches to get all the way around. And then that would be a little bit of fiddling of finding the right length for the headband and finding the right length for the cowl, but it is reasonably simple to do. So yeah, I think that's it a bit for now. Going to say, yeah, thank you for watching and tuning in. Thank you to everybody if you're watching or rewatching the live right now. Um, Happy crafting and take care until I see you again. And I will definitely try still to go live at least once a week, but I do have a few other things that I do need to get done. And right now, time is a little bit uncertain because of the unemployment situation, and I will need to do whatever the government tells me to do to get my payments. And once that's a bit more settled, I can kind of, I guess, commit a bit easier again. Anyhow, take care and happy crafting until I see you again. And of course, on Friday, I'll be back with a new yarn talk video for you guys. So you get a full update also on this cowl and as well on the other projects I've been working on. So yeah, that's it. Bye.